from the News Channel 5 Network. This is OpenLine.
Well, good evening and welcome into OpenLine. I'm Chuck Long, excited to be with you for this next hour. One of my very favorite hours, because Kevin Kennedy from the Kennedy Law Firm is here to answer those legal questions. We call this one the Ask an Expert Hour. This is the Ask an Attorney, and if there ever was an attorney that is the expert in that field, it is Mr. Kevin Kennedy from the Kennedy Law Firm. Great to see you once again, Kevin.
Good to see you, my friend Chuck. God bless you, and good to be with our audience. It's always a thrill. People say, don't you have enough work to do with that? And I love to come and share, and Chuck makes it so much fun, and it's great. And so we're going to encourage you tonight, if you've got some questions, pick up the phone and give us a call, and we'll try to answer it the best we can. And I really do believe this knowledge will make a difference. Let me say this again. So many of your family members don't have the opportunity to get to hear. So if you want to take some notes, take down some notes. If something that we say sparks a question, send it. There's no such thing as a dumb question. We love to hear from you. And quite frankly, Chuck and I can learn as we discuss these things one with another. So feel free to look forward to hearing from you.
Absolutely. And so, Kevin, I got to say that it's pretty bright around this set tonight.
It is really bright.
We've got some really good color going on here.
I thought they gave us some extra lights and everything, but
we just kind of brightened up the whole
set. Spring has sprung.
I think so, and it is bright, and we like that. So, you know, the other thing, though, that we always find out when we're taking these questions is, you know, we live in stressful times.
Absolutely.
People, I know, I mean, we can relate to this. We have these questions, we worry, it's stressful,
Amen.
that anxiety can run high.
It will.
And a lot of times they have to do with these legal problems, these legal questions that are facing a lot of people.
I don't see how you can live in America, go to the mall, get your gas without running into a legal issue. And, you know, people are more agitated. The inflation's going up. People, and when money gets a little tighter, well, it seems like you get a little more aggravated because you won't let things go because it's cost you more, and so you really want to get what you expect you're getting, and then you will verbalize it. And so that runs throughout so know what your legal rights are. Try not to get outside your rights. You take on a little liability anytime you do. So where are the parameters? How far do I try to protect my family in advance for our own resources?
Well, and that's what this hour is for. This hour is to help you. If you have those legal questions, we encourage you to give us a call at 737-7587. The number is right there on your screen. And, you know, again, this is the kind of situation where whether it's for you, whether it's for a friend or family member, you have that question. I know it's going to help you, but it also helps a lot of people that are listening, because we all can kind of relate to a lot of the questions that come in.
You know, after we do the show, my phones light up and say, well, I saw Kevin on OpenLine. I need to try to talk. And so that's wonderful. We really do want to help you, because a lot of times the anxiety that you're experiencing, just a little advice can go say, wow, well, I kind of thought that was it, but this makes me feel so much better. A lot of sleepless nights. I was reflecting over my career. My wife was a principal, and I said, she pulled 38 years, and I said, well, was it driving you crazy? She said, no, quite frankly, you know, my experience protected me. And I heard a judge say that. So that's why you should learn more and more that you can, because that experience will protect you. And we're really under an obligation to teach our children, because they never even see it coming.
They don't. And, you know, the other thing is people often think, well, I don't even know how to take on the big guys. You have one of those questions, whether it's the insurance, you've been in the hospital, so you're getting all these bills in, and you're going, but I didn't know I was going to have to pay for these. Nobody told me about this. What are your rights? What do you do?
Here's where we are too, Chuck. You know, we all have a sense of fairness within us, that this is right and this is wrong. I just had a gigantic jury trial, and it was an all-dayer, and I was thinking about justice. And at the end of the day, we won the jury trial. I'll say congratulations.
Congratulations.
I knew you would. And it kind of put us on a high. I had a big team, and we were on the high. But really, it does matter when things are right and things are wrong, that it bothers us. And it would bother any normal man.
Absolutely. And, you know, the other thing, too, not only is it insurance, but a lot of times it's just how you approach a situation. We often say, Be careful about what you do say. Don't say too much. Yes. A lot of times people think, oh, well, I need to just, tell
what
explain.
I know. Yeah, this is what I saw.
But that's not necessarily the case.
No. And, one of the good things this show, it even teaches me and it reminds me, be so careful on what you say, slow to speak. You heard that. Think twice before you speak, because everything's recorded. Everything you do is getting recorded, and it can be interpreted against you. So even if we get away, there's some high-profile cases going on, right? Everybody has an opinion. Well, you can rest assured, if something happens, it's going to cost you. So I want to avoid that conflict if there's a way to avoid it.
And, a lot of times the way that you can avoid it is asking the expert.
Yes.
So that's why we say this hour, it's for you. 737-7587 is that number. Give us a call. Kevin, another thing too that I've learned just from doing this show with you, for years now.
Yeah.
So many things that I've learned. But I always thought, like, if you were in a traffic situation and something happened, that one, you couldn't record anything. Two, you just tell them what happened. You just start saying, well, this, that's not even the case.
No,
you want to be
it.
very, very careful. You want to contact an attorney.
You do. And remember, when they say anything you say can be and will be used against you, be assured. And the other thing is, remember, we as Americans want to be fair, but insurance companies have the biggest buildings in every city. How do they get that? They get that by not paying claims or paying less than they should. And you say, well, we need to stop. Then when we start from that premise, then you'll understand. Remember, the police have an agenda. It's not always investigatory. Many times it's to prosecute. So we have an agenda: stay out of trouble, don't go to court. Let's try to use our best judgment, and we can divert so much. If a problem breaks out, what would I do? I've been in law business 38 years now, but I'd go talk with my lawyers. I would ponder it. I would go back to our old cooler heads prevail. And that's great advice. What book did you find that in, Kevin? Well, experience will teach you. It's really a book of wisdom. And cooler heads prevail. So you want to advance. No, I heard Kevin Kidney say, cooler heads prevail.
All right. So once again, if you do have one of those questions, make sure that you give us a call. 737-7587 is the number. We're going to go right to the lines right now. Nancy is on the line with us. Nancy, good evening. Welcome into Open Line. Do you have a question or a comment for Kevin?
I have a question.
All right, Nancy.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is kind of complicated. My mom's house is not in her name. It's in four of her children's names. Okay? Now, can one sibling sell that house without the other three signing?
Great question. Here's the answer. Yes, absolutely. The law says if Chuck and I owned it and there's two other friends own it and we can't get along, then anybody who has their name on it has a right to file a petition to the court, ask that it be sold. And so whatever the money, and people say, well, I've been living here. That's just the law. And so you have a right. And if you want to bid, bid. You say, well, I don't have the money. Well, then you can operate and try to get your finances. But when the hammer falls, there's a new owner. You may be that or you may not. Then the money's paid and it's divided among the parts. That's really, when you stop and think about it, you can't be any fairer really than that.
Thank you so much for calling in, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
And again, that helps a lot of folks just finding out that information. And that's another thing that you need an attorney for. So many times people think estate planning, it can be simple if I just say, well, everything goes to X and Y. It's so much more complicated than that.
Well, I had a situation, there's 10 kids and it came up. Now, can you get 10 people to agree on anything? Very, very hard. Do you really want that stress? And families, what I've learned over these years, we bend over backwards not to offend a brother, because it doesn't take much to offend one. And then, is it really worth having hard feelings over a $100 chair? No, it's not. Or whatever the case may be. In my experience, yes, it's true. They were having a funeral and one part of the family was cleaning the house out. And so then the other part of the family went home. They said, hey, they can't do that. So they all show up at the law firm. Yeah, I had the funeral director called and said, "Now, Kevin, this family's in a fight down here." And I said, "Well, I understand." And so avoid that. Do your planning. And some people are just really impossible to deal with. We understand that. And if that falls in your family, I also say this, there's no such thing as the perfect family. Everyone has somebody in the family that could be difficult.
And if you do have one of those questions about maybe it's estate planning, maybe it's will planning, make sure that you give us a call, 737-7587. We have the expert attorney in the house with us, Kevin Kennedy from the Kennedy Law Firm. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll answer more of your questions right here on Open Line.